Greetings, Sewanee. How are you? Cool. What's up? What's poppin'? All right, here we are. Okay. Thank y'all for having me. It's so great to be back here. This is lovely. Um, as always, thank you to the staff, to Adam and Leah and Travis and all the people who make this thing possible. I'm just gonna read some poems. Let me set time. Cool. All right, poems. Here we are. So, uh, our baby really hates getting her teeth brushed. This poem is called Love Like Brushing Baby Teeth. Our little love thrashes on the lip of the sink, lips pursed, puckered, pushed in guard of the mouth's soft open. I hand her the brush to make friends with, and she does want it, does stick it in and bite down gleeful. After a moment, I take it back, bless it with a gentle smear of kids' toothpaste, and then we work. One of us to hold the arms, box the head of our little love, one of us to pinch the jaw and angle the brush, two of us to do the praying of practice, two of us to save the teeth that will fall soon anyway. Cool. All right. Yeah, little kids, it's crazy. All right, cool. All right, yes. So, what do you need to know? Next poem. This poem is called America Elegy. Let me take this thing off. I feel silly. This is actually sort of germane. I'm getting the opportunity starting tomorrow to teach with Courtney Lamar Charleston, who is, beloved poet and a dear friend, and we in fact met many, many moons ago when at Georgetown University at Junior Statesman School. So when I was very young, I thought I was going to be the first black president. Another dude from Chicago stole my whole bit, but it's okay. So this poem sort of references. So I like know randomly a lot about American presidents, which every day I regret, but unfortunately it's just a thing. So this poem sort of references some of that lore. America Elegy. For Ona Judge and all the others. And I should say Ona Judge was, there's a great book called Never Caught that's sort of about her life, but Ona Judge was an enslaved woman who escaped George Washington and who Washington pursued for the rest of his life and in fact beyond. So for Ona Judge and others. Once upon a time, I wanted to be president. A childhood dream schemed in the aftermath of books and simple belief. I told all my teachers and studied the lives of great men like hieroglyphics. I knew them all, even the obscure. I would recite the measurement of Taft's tub and the folly of William Harrison's haberdashery, counted the number of Whigs and Federalists in the fine line of lore. I still know too much about the assorted slave owners and lay lawyers and warmongers who made sure my foremothers stayed working under some white somebody. Sometimes my friends who are still simple enough to believe the myth of this muchness ask me incredulous, when did you stop believing? It was when I was 10. I visited Washington's Mount Vernon, excited to see my forefather. I bought the gift shop copy of his last will. I had been told it was the great freedom document for many. And when I read it, I saw the insuperable difficulties to my ilk drawing unmolested breath today. I learned that presidents always promise freedom tomorrow and tell you today why the math won't work. I learned I come from the merchandise, not the masters. Cool. All right. Yes. So next poem. This poem is for a dear friend of mine who passed away. This is my friend Sydney, who was also a poet actually, but she was the first person I met in first grade. And we actually had the sort of opportunity at the end of her life to sort of be colleagues. She was, when I started working at the University of Wisconsin, sort of right after I got there, that was her alma mater, and she got a job there on staff. And so it was this like kind of lovely moment where basically since we were like 18, we hadn't lived in the same city. And we were like, oh, cool, we're like gonna be back in this place. And then we were sort of gone for the year, had the baby, and she passed away like right before Avery was born, so I couldn't even go to her funeral. So this is a poem for her. It's called Epithalamilegy, which is a sort of portmanteau of epithalamium, the wedding poem, and an elegy. So for Sydney. Our vow, if vowless by 30, then us, was such a stupid, childish way to say love. But love we were, children also, on the corner of May Street. Our mamas and us waited for the bus so we could march in between the tall back seats like an aisle. I'll carry you with me like a bride over the threshold. I'll carry you with me like a bouquet or a corsage. I can't put you down, and even if I did, you would still appear in our prom photo on an unsuspecting shelf in my childhood home. Oh, Sid, I still find myself whispering to you like a secret between bus seats. Oh, Sid, why aren't we still in first grade and crushes? Oh, Sid, it crushed me and so many of us. Oh, Sid, when I heard, it laid me down like a wedding broom. Oh, Sid, I jumped and held my breath for you. Cool. All right. Elegy for birthright citizenship. Yikes. I don't know. I didn't do it. Don't be mad at me. Well, I always knew we were not long for this place and its promises. By hook or by crook, they coming for us like climate. Whether you know it or not, gravity pulls your ass down eventually. Fuck a belief, baby. This is the law. Laws made by slavers make slaves. Let them quiver when the arrow cuts their flesh. But me, I expected the wound, welcomed it even. My only hometown is their dispossession, their depression. I put that on the landfill my daddy grew up on. I put that on the heavy metals in the playgrounds I played on. I put that on the factories they poisoned us with, then closed. Real gang shit, like chains. Cool. Yeah. All right. I don't know why I was here. Okay, so this poem has an epigraph. It's from sort of famed music producer Quincy Jones. This thing he said in an article or like in an interview that I really like. The poem is called Elegy for the Tax Man, and the epigraph is this. God walks out of the room when you're thinking about money. I would write an opus, but my credit cards are due. My loan payment is too high to metaphor. I owe too much to owed. The mortgage killing me, or at least keeping me from writing these mixtapes. The rent tamps down my rants. Haven't memorized a slam poem since daycare started costing so damn much. Such is the life of a late capitalist crooner, a bard of the bill, a poet low rate of the po folks. Word to Vashel Lindsay, I just wish for rhymes to be traded for bread. Word to the tax man who been sending me love letters like an old flame for years to firebomb the villages of my hometown and yours with my money. The older I get, the more I believe in poetry, and the less I believe in words like my and money, because I want to meet God. Cool. Can I do this? We'll see. Hold on. This, that. Myth of the middle class. Fresh off the griddle rap. White folk, they told me I special testing my little ass. Shout out my uncle who studied Russian in case they won. Came up with nothing, then socialism sound plenty fun. Many guns in my neighborhood in 90-some. Shout out my mama who got cleaner around 91. In Reagan's aftermath, another chapter pass. The only oath I keep is love to people, F the rats. And F the pigs too, professor know the jig too, trying to get my people free like I did school. And all it cost me was my sane mind. No allegiance to they leaders cause they slain mine. They might kill you with bullets, or kill you with silence, or kill you with water, or kill you with Midas. Yeah, that money is a death trap. F that. Only gold I hold is by my left. Check that. Cool. I have to remember that. What do I want to do next? All right, so I'll do this. So, yeah, I kind of always like love being back in Tennessee. I went to undergrad in Tennessee at Vanderbilt, and so always sort of being back in this part of the country feels like a bit of a homecoming. And so I'll read this poem. It's Elegy for Henry, and this poem is about like a dear friend's grandfather who passed away. And it was funny because I did not. So this friend was sort of how I ended up going to Vanderbilt, right? Both of his parents went to Vandy, and they were sort of like, hey, if you decide to apply, let us know. We'll take you on a visit. And me, enjoying free trips, applied to Vanderbilt University, and then I ended up going there. But what I didn't sort of find out till many years later was that I kind of went there because of Henry, right? Which was really interesting to me because the reason why, so Henry is like, you know, he lived to like well into his 90s, served in World War II, was like, you know, a white gentleman from Jacksonville, Florida, and went to Vanderbilt to study with a particular writer named Donald Davidson. His dream was to be a poet, to be a novelist, to be a writer. He didn't really end up doing that, but I had no idea about this until like many years after I had gone there and sort of become a writer and whatever. And so it's kind of funny. So Davidson is a part of this sort of set of poets who were centered at Vanderbilt called the Fugitives, who were sort of fantastically racist and who I'm sure would be really perplexed that I went to their school and did what they do, and now I'm here, you know, tap dancing on the graves. But it's funny to me that like sort of inextricably we remain linked, right? Like I would not have gone to this school had they not sort of been there and made this imprint that called Henry there, that ultimately called his children there, that ultimately called me there. So this is an elegy for Henry, and it's for him and also for Ben and Casey. Ben being his grandson, Casey being his granddaughter-in-law, his grandson's wife. At the intersection of love and loss, I consider Grandpa Henry. He lost his hearing mostly. He lost his loving wife and stuck around for 15 years, not always willingly. He lost his eyesight enough that street signs were mere rumor to him. And then, thank God, he lost his license. He lost most of the steady strength to stand for long, and so the last time I saw him, he was wheelchair bound, except when his oldest grandson's bride marched down the aisle in ivory, and he was there at the open-air wedding that summer of the plague. Some of the family fought his demand to be there, and yet he was, sloping up out of the chair, bracing himself with his gentle hands, mask wrapped around his face like a veil, near the end of his life, hailing the beginning of theirs. Cool. Let's see. So I have many sisters. I have only sisters. I have three sisters who are all 9 years apart, and I'm sort of just slightly younger than the middle one. But we had another sister who was about a year younger than me, who passed away the day she was born. So this poem is for her. What do you really need to know? I guess just that. And I should say this poem owes a particular debt to the poem We Are Seven by William Wordsworth. And also there's like a slight echo of the poem The Mother by Gwendolyn Brooks. And this is Elegy for Jocelyn, I should say. I knew of you early as my own name, like Wordsworth's simple child. I always counted you in our number. We are 5 then, who passed through the knowing of mama's most inner love, and you only had a day before you left again. Please know, little sister, that we have mourned you as long as your life was brief. In elementary school, I wrote about you in my brief book, your own page and a drawing where your picture could never be. Please know, little sister, when Natasha came as our last addition, our eldest sister thought she was you, now returned to us. Please know, little sister, I knew you, though faintly, and I loved you. I missed you. I yearned to return to you like the river swims to the sea. Cool. That's it. All right. We'll do I guess we'll do 2 more poems. 2 more. I think that's, 2 more is good. That's fine. So let's see. All right, so I really enjoy professional wrestling. Hey now. It's a lot of fun to watch, and this poem kind of borrows some of the language of that. You don't really need to know a ton about it. If you do know any wrestling from the 90s and you remember a storyline of these 2 characters who were sort of monsters and brothers, though not actually brothers, Kane and The Undertaker. Yes. They're so if you know some of that story, then then just keep that in your head. Also, Kane, he's like the Republican mayor of Knoxville. He's the mayor of Knox County. I'm not even joking. Yeah. Glenn something or other. So I don't know. I guess, we're in East Tennessee. It fits. Yeah. All right, this is called Tag Team, and this is for Jose. Yes. Like Kane and the Undertaker before us, we are brothers and also not related. We are liars and also the only true artists. We are monsters at moments and also imperfect men trying to get over. You have to understand there is more than one way to be blood, like shedding it, or sharing it, or showing up to carry my newborn child and not knowing a damn thing except how to tag in. That's it. All right. Cool. All right. Yeah. So just one more poem. I guess this one is slightly longer. Yeah, since we're on the I'll end with this. This is called Boxing. I guess you don't really need to know that much. So the year that our daughter was born, not this past school year, but the school year before, we spent the year sort of in kind of greater Boston, which was, a place I've not spent much time, only kind of glancingly, and never really lived. And so, I don't know. I joined the gym because I was off on fellowship, but also sort of doing new dad stuff and preparing for that. And it felt like I should join a gym to have a place to go. And so I guess this is about, I don't know, me pretending to learn how to box. Here we go. That fall of preparation, I searched for something to combat the inertia of sitting down. Of course I jogged. It was the suburbs, and I know how to pretend like I've been somewhere. I took the one complimentary class at the jiu-jitsu gym and felt the soft bounce of the mats and the fresh sweat of a roll pressed into the ground, but I could not risk it when I saw the ambulance called after one stunned seizure mid-match. This was the autumn of new fatherhood, and I couldn't be the one in the hospital. My search found another spot with a boxing class, walking distance from our Civil War era rental, and the idea of punching and staying on my feet was enough to sign up. The classes started with our imaginary jump ropes, and then the shadow boxing, a church for my idle hands in the cheap issued gloves until they started to stink and split, and I bought my own proper pair. 16 ounces of prayer around my fingers, those New England evenings, the pairing off like a dance class, the combinations new as the forthcoming diaper changes, the sweat so heavy I had to wrap my bald dome in a headband like a 90s ball player, the punching so plentiful it seemed to dent my knuckles, soft as a sit-down job. The story goes my granddaddy saw Rocky and started boxing in his middle age. I still remember the flat speed bag in the basement decades after he moved out. My nephew, too, took to the pugilism I only played at. When they asked me if I wanted to spar, I demurred. I'm only here to break a sweat and outrun the Reaper, baby. I got a baby nearly here. I took a month away when she came, and when I returned, my instructor's question revealed my good news, and his Boston accent and armfuls of tattoos softened into sweetness at the mere mention of my baby girl. Her first half year, what I had to keep me sane was simulated pain, the footwork of slips and parries, the practice of numbers as punches, The uneven counting in my unsure hands, like the baby I couldn't drop, like the beloved I ushered in and out of hospital wards all year, like all the things I could not control that hit me in the face like a punch, like there are worse things to taste than your own blood. Like every time a family member came to town to help us, I just asked if I could get an hour to slip away. Cool. All right, thank y'all.